So as we know, Divi 5 is still in alpha, so I was so excited. So I was working behind the scenes to produce SiteKrafter 5.0, the Divi framework for designing websites super fast. So I released that yesterday, but I realized that there was a feature that is still not in Divi 5, which is importing presets. But of course, I know some of you have already purchased this and want to play around with it before Divi 5 gets out of alpha. So I want to show you a workaround to still continue using SiteKrafter. So let's dive in and let me show you. So on this website here, I've gone ahead and installed Divi 5. So here it is. I'm just going to show you. There's nothing there pretty much installed. So what we're going to do first is go in and install SiteKrafter. So to do that, now already I've been getting some emails. People are, telling me they can't install SiteKrafter and so on. I guess it's because they're doing it wrong, and I'll show you again what you need to do. So most people, or a few people now, I think they've gone ahead and installed this file here straight away. No, you don't do that. The first thing you need to do is to open it. So you double click on that. Okay, so now it's open. You see now we have a SiteKrafter folder open. You double click on that, and this is where you have install SiteKrafter plugin. Okay, and this is the presets. All right, so let's go ahead now and install SiteKrafter. So what we're going to do is to head over now to our plugins, which is right here, and I'm going to click on add new plugin. And next we're going to click on upload plugin, and then we're going to come over here and click on choose file. Okay, great. So here now we need to go to my folder, which is right here. We're going to go into this folder here where we have install SiteKrafter. Remember, double click on that and then click on install now. So this now is going to go ahead and install SiteKrafter. All right, so let me go ahead now and click on activate. And then on the bottom left here, we have SiteKrafter. We need to go ahead and click on that. And then we now need to go and install it. So we're going to scroll all the way down here. Now, if you don't need these plugins, you could go ahead and disable them. But I'm just going to leave them there for now. Next, I'm going to click on Begin Site Import. So this is now installing SiteKrafter on our Divi 5 website. Now, I'm also going to show you something interesting where we can just get up and running and create a basic page using SiteKrafter. So stay tuned, don't click away. All right, so it looks like we're almost done here. It has gone ahead and installed everything, and it looks pretty good. So right now, we don't need SiteKrafter anymore. So let's go ahead and delete it. We're going to come over here to plugins and then click on installed plugins. And then right here, we're going to click on deactivate, and then we're going to go ahead and delete. All right, so remember, we had this page initially to start with. So what I'm going to do now is to refresh this and see if SiteKrafter has installed. We should see a new footer, a basic layout. All right, so let's go ahead and refresh. Okay, there we go. So now we can see that SiteKrafter has been installed successfully. The next step now is to install our presets. Unfortunately, this version of Divi 5 Alpha does not have that feature yet to import presets. However, like I said in the beginning of the video, I have a workaround. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go in on our site here. So let's head over to our pages. So we're going to come over here, all pages. Now you can see here, SiteKrafter has gone ahead and created a few pages for us. So first of all, before I even do anything, I want to delete the sample page because we don't need that. I'm also going to delete the policy page for now. Okay, so the pages that we have now are all needed. The next step now is to click on presets. So let's go ahead now and click on edit with Divi. So this is the page that we need. It's very, very important. Okay, I know it comes in blank, it doesn't have anything on it, and straight away we can see that there's a few things that Elegant Themes is probably still working on. I don't see my footer here, but I know it's fine. When I go to the front end of the website, I see it. So what we're going to do now is to click here on portability. Okay, so this is the import and export button. You click on that, and then you click on import. Okay, so what we're going to do now, remember we had two files. We had the install SiteKrafter plugin, and then we have the SK presets 5.0 alpha. So what we need to do now is to just click drag and drop it right here. Okay. Now, you notice that we don't have the check mark to import presets. Okay. This is the only feature that is missing to make SiteKrafter 5.0 work. But I'm pretty sure, as this feature is very important in Divi, it is going to come through probably in the next release or so of the alpha version. Okay, so based on what's been happening with Elegant Themes, I think we have to wait about 2 weeks. I know it seems like a long time, but hopefully we should get that feature before then. All right, so now it just says replace existing content. I don't have anything here anyway, so I'm gonna go ahead now and import. So this now has just imported, I mean, look how fast that was. It has just imported our preset. Now, the challenge that we have right now, when you take a look at our file, now this is what controls the complete website, okay? What we adjust here completes, works on the whole website, okay? So this is just a workflow that I devised, which I think works really great. So the first thing we need to do is to make sure we sort out our fonts. So we're gonna come over here. So you notice that I've clicked in here. Next, you wanna come over now to advanced, okay? And then go to CSS class and type in SK. That's all you need to do, SK for SiteKrafter. If you forget this, just remember SK for SiteKrafter. Okay, so now that I've done that, you notice that my text now has just grown. Did you see that? In fact, let me remove this so you can see again. So in case you missed that. Do you see that? Now, when I add SK, this is the fluid size. This is the size that you don't need to go in and adjust. It's already done for you in clamp, okay? And I will show you, if you want to change the clamp values, I'll also show you how to do that in a moment. But for now, let's work on the presets. All right, so now I've added SK. So what you need to do now is to save this preset. So let's come over now to the top here and say new preset from current styles. So we're going to go ahead and click on that. And let's give this a name. Now, what I like doing, what I'd like to do here is to use SK dash, and then we're going to give it a name. So I'm going to say website fonts or website text, or something that that you're going to remember. Okay, so let's call this main text, just as simple as that. So SK is for SiteKrafter. So the other thing that you need to do as well is to come over here and assign as default. Okay, so that means every time we're going to go in and start designing our website, our font is going to be set up for us. All right, so now that we have this, it's all good. The next step now is to move on to the next item. So let's do the button. We're going to click again on the button here. And for this one here, we're going to go to advanced and let's see if we have SK. If we don't, it's not a big deal. Okay, don't worry. It's only mainly on the fonts in the modules. So I will show you anyway. So this one here doesn't have, so it's fine. But what I'm going to do is to go ahead and create a preset anyway. So I'm going to click here on this gear icon. Then let's head over to design. And we are going to activate use custom styles for button. And then we want to add our button background, okay? Now you notice that these colors that we have here are our base colors. What we need is the global, because this is what's going to keep your website consistent. So this is my primary color, which is my brand color. And then this one here is my secondary color, which is the action color. So let's go ahead and select that. So right away, you can see that we have added our background color. Next, I'm going to leave the border radius as it is. For the border width, I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, now we're down to 0 pixels. Now let's continue on. Now we have our button text, blah, blah, blah. Right, we need our button text color. So let's go ahead now and add our button text color. I'm going to add it as white. But if you want, you can just add this slight off color just for that little hint of not using white. But that's fine. Let's leave it at that. Now let's continue on, because there's another setting here which is important. So on the show button icon, I am going to remove that because I don't like showing my icons. I'd rather have like a very slight zoom when I hover over my buttons. All right, so now that I have disabled that, let's head over to padding. Now this padding here is very important. So for our buttons here, they don't normally change on screen sizes. So we're going to use pixels because that's absolute. So let's go ahead and say 12 pixels. So we're going to add that to the top to give this button a bit of padding. Now usually when I create my buttons, I also add double what I've used on the top and bottom. So we're going to make this 24 pixels and then I'm going to do the same. Okay, so our button now has taken shape. It's the right size. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just the right size. What I'm going to do next now is to add some sort of animation, very subtle, when I hover over this. Okay, so to do that, we're going to come over here to the top and let's go to hover. Right, so now let's scroll all the way down here and look for our animation. I think it's on advanced. Let's try advanced. Do we have animations here? Okay, I guess this could be something that is missing. Do we have animations? Transform. Okay, great. So we have transform here. So what we need to do is to make it grow. Okay. So we are on transform scale. So let's set this to 102. Okay. Do you see that subtle animation that happened there? That's subtle zoom. That's what we're looking for. So 102. And then I'm going to come back over here and remove the desktop. Go back to the desktop. And then we're just going to set our button here as a new preset from current styles. So we're going to call this main button. SK dash main dash button. Or you can call it, instead of saying main button, you can call it action button. Dash button. Okay, so this is the only one that we need to go in and really make a lot of customizations to, but the rest is going to be very straightforward, as I'll show you in a moment. So we want to make this default, and then we're going to go ahead and save. Okay, great. So now we have our button, and you can see this one here is updated as well. But if we need another style, we can always, change this later on. Okay, so now that we have this, let's continue on. The next item we're going to go to is our blurb here. So I'm going to click on this gear icon, and then I'm going to come to advanced. Now remember, SK. It's important. Look at that. My text is updated. Okay, so now that it's updated, I'm now going to do a few adjustments here because I can see my icon is way too big. So to do that, we're going to come over here to design and icon width. We're going to bring this down. Let's go to maybe 42. Okay. And then this text here is a bit too big for the heading. So that's an easy fix. And let me show you how to do that. So first of all, let's go to our text. So right now we are on image and icon. So we need our text. Okay, first of all, let's center this because for this style, I want it centered. And you see for the heading here, it's on heading 4. Go ahead and put it on heading 5 to make it slightly smaller. But it doesn't mean that it's not responsive. It's going to be 100% responsive and it's going to work fine. Okay, so now that we have this, we're going to come over here now to our presets, create new preset from current styles. And what we're going to do now is, I'm just going to call this sk-main-blurb. Okay, now with the blurbs, this is used so many times across the whole website. So you may want to do a few more different designs. So first of all, let's save this. And I want to make this my sort of main one. So I'm going to say save preset. Okay, so this one here is going to be my main one. But if I want to go in and further make adjustments to this, let me show you how you can quickly do that. I could just come in here and let's add a bit of padding around this. So we're going to scroll all the way down here. In fact, let's give it a background color first. We're going to give it a slight color like that. And then let's head over now to design. And this time we want to add a bit of padding and some rounded corners. All right, so let's go with, let's try 1 rem around. Okay, let's see. I don't think that made a difference. Oh, do you notice that it's doing it to the icon? We don't want that. Let's delete that. Okay, now let's go further down because that's where the setting is. I'm gonna scroll all the way down. Now you see, this is one thing that I would like Divi 5 to update, because when you scroll through all these items, it's very difficult to find things unless you know what you're doing. Anyway, so for example, I'm going to say 2 rem. Let's see how big that is. Okay, that's massive. So let's try 1. All right, so we're going to go with 1. Okay, and then what we're going to do next is maybe let's try and see what happens if we add a border, 1 pixel border, and we're just going to add the color that's just above. Okay, that's looking nice. Let's add. Great. Okay, so I've added 2 pixel border around my blurb. Now I need to add the padding around it. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to scroll down. Where's the padding? Now, do you see what I mean? I have to go through all this to find out where the padding is. But you see, it would be much easier if we could just collapse the item that we've just finished editing. So at least we have more real estate for finding the other stuff. Anyway, for the padding now, I'm going to go with 2 rem. So that's going to be on the top. So as I'm doing this, I'm just looking to see how it looks. Okay, I think this works, but I may want to increase this a little bit to 4. And let's do the same here. Okay, I think that's much better because there's more breathing space. Okay, so now we have done some changes to the existing main preset. So now let me show you how you can just add your settings that you've just done right now. So what you would do is you would come over here, you hover over the SK main, right? And then all you do is to click on this little icon here, and it also tells you update preset with current styles. So you just click on that, and then you say yes, and pretty much you're good to go. So do you notice that this one here now has got the update automatically? That is because this is the one that I set as a global. Okay, so it just brings it over here. But we can further customize this by maybe using this with an image if you want to, or you can rename this to something else. It's up to you. Okay, so this took a bit long because I was actually showing you how to create a brand new preset. So the next step now is just to show you the ones which have text, which have our fonts all set up already. So what you want to do now, this is another module. I'm going to click on it, and this is the accordion. All you need to do with this one here is to come to Advanced, Custom CSS, SK. Boom. Do you see that the text has updated? That's all you need to do. And then you want to go back to our preset here and then say new preset from current styles. Bang. All right. Now let's name it. So now we're going to name it SK dash, and this is a accordion, like that. That's it. And then assign it as default. So that means wherever you're going to use the accordion, that's the size you're going to get. Okay, we're going to save. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Right, so this one here is our email opt-in, I think. We click on this gear icon. Email opt-in, we go to Advanced, CSS class, SK. Do you see that? It has updated my text. So now we're going to go back. You may need to go in and work on the button here, because the text doesn't work on the button, so you may need to update the button here. But quickly, I'm just going to come in and new preset from current styles, and I'm going to call this SK dash. This is email opt-in, email dash opt-in. Option, really, opt-in. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, we're going to assign this as default. And we are going to go ahead and save the preset. Next, we're going to come over here. This one here is, I think it's the person. Yes. So again, let's head over to Advanced, CSS class, SK. Do you see that? It is updated. Next, come over here to the top, create new preset from current styles, and then we're going to call this SK dash, and this is person. Assign to default, and then we're going to save the preset. Like I said, at some point you may want to come back, change a few things to this. All you need to do is to go to the main one, SK person, click on this little icon here, and it will update your design. Okay, but what I will do is I will stay away from adjusting the size of the text in the actual module. I'll show you in a moment where you need to do that. All right, let's continue on. So over here we have our testimonials. Again, we come to the advanced SK. Do you see that it updated? And then all I have to do here is to remove a few things. I'm going to come to content and scroll the way down. I want to remove that show quote. I don't like the quote. Okay, so pretty much we're good. Okay, so this one here, new preset from current styles. Is that how it did? Yes. Okay, so we're going to say SK dash testimonial. Okay, assign as default, and then save the preset. Great. Next, this is the blog. Yes, it's a blog. So what you can do is you can just do a quick fixes here. If you don't want to show the author, you don't want to show the date, and perhaps maybe you want to show the category. Or do you want to show the category? I don't know. You can just decide whatever you want to do here. Show excerpts. Okay, I'll leave that. And excerpt size. Maybe you can set this to 120. Make it a bit less. And then once you're good with that, you come over here to advanced, CSS class, SK. Okay. And then you can save your preset. So you continue doing that. Even your tabs, you can come over here to your tabs, advanced, SK. You see that? The size has updated. And then you can just come over here, new preset from current styles. And then we're just going to call this SK dash tabs, assign as default, and then save. All right. So I'm sure you get what you need to do here. Let's now try and create a new web page. Okay, how about that? Right. So what we're going to do is first of all, okay. In fact, I'll leave this as it is just in case I need it. We're going to go to our front page now and refresh the page, and you're going to notice the button is going to, the text here. Oops, it hasn't updated. That's strange. Okay, let me just save all this, just in case. Save that. And let me just double check and see if this has been set as the main one. And yes, it has. Okay. Right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to click now on Edit with Divi to start designing our page. And we are going to start from scratch. And you can see here it's updated. I don't know why it wasn't updating on the front end. Well, that's what happens when you use beta software, or alpha in this case. All right, so I'm going to clear the layout here because I want to work with a brand new layout. So the first thing I'm going to do is to add 2 columns. And in the left column here, I'm going to add a heading. Okay, so this heading here, we're going to use some lorem text. So I'm just going to copy a bit of text like that. Come back over here. And with that selected, I'm going to go in and paste it. All right, so what I need to check quickly here is what size is that? So I'm going to come over here. And we can see here that it is set to H1, H2, H3. So what we need to do again is to head over to Advanced, CSS Class, SK, Now, do you see that? Now it has gone big. It's because the headings were not set on this page, on the presets page. Okay, the headings were not set. These ones here are set from the text module. Let me show you what I mean. I know it's going to sound confusing now. Oh my goodness, I didn't want this to be like this. But anyway, let me go back and show you. So let's say you want to add your normal text. This text here was set this way. If I go in and paste my lorem text, the quickest way is to go in here and then set heading 1. You see that? That's how this is set. Okay, but if you want to go with the headings individually, you would have to set up the main style. So let's just work like this. All right, so I don't want heading 1. I want heading, should we go with heading 3? I think 3 works fine. Okay, next we're going to add another text module. So this is where the description is going to go. So I'm going to come over here, grab a bit of description, and we're going to go in and paste it over here like that. All right, great. Finally, I'm going to need a button. So I'm going to search for my button module. I'm going to select that. Now, do you see how the flow is now fast because I have everything all set? Okay, so it's going to be fun now. So what we need to do now is to decide, okay, is this text here connected with this, or is this connected with a button? So, okay, I want this to be connected with the button, so I'm going to add the right margin. So I'm going to come over here all the way down to my margin, and for my bottom here, I'm going to start off with 0. So you can see it's way too close. So we don't want that. So what we need is to try with 2. Let's start off with 2 rem. Okay, I think the spacing is okay there. So since this is 2, let's make this 4. So I'm going to come to this text here, and let's head over to design, and we're going to look for our margin, and I'm going to set this to, let's see what 2em looks like. Sorry, 2 rem. So let's make sure we're entering the right thing here. Okay. So if we go 4 is too big. Okay, so let's go with 2. So at least we have a distinction here. The title is on its own, and then this 2 is related. This is just a basic rule in UI design, so the spacing needs to be consistent throughout. All right, so over here we need to add an image. So let's look for an image. We're just going to go to pixels and choose an image for our site. So I'm just going to call this holiday. But of course, this website could be pretty much whatever you like. It doesn't really matter. So should we go with no? Which one should we go with? Okay, let's continue on. And I want something vibrant. You know what? I wish I had chosen these videos ahead of time. Now I'm wasting time trying to look for an image that works. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's just go with this, just for the sake of time, okay? I'm going to come over here now and click on download. I'm going to go with this one first. Download. And now it's downloaded. We're going to come over here now, click on this plus button, and we're going to search for our image module and select it. Okay, so now all I have to do is to find that file in my downloads, and here we are. We're going to double click on that, and now my image has been added, and now all I need to do is to upload. Okay, brilliant. My image now is uploaded. The next thing we need to do is to perhaps maybe add some rounded corners to this. So I'm just going to come over here to design, come all the way down here to my border radius. I'm going to go with 4 rem, see what that looks like. I think that's cool. I'm going to go with that. But of course you can go with, whatever style you like. Now, if you want all your images to have this style, then you want to come over here, and we are now going to say new preset from current styles. Then we're going to call this sk-image. because remember, we need to make sure everything is consistent here with your presets. Otherwise, you're going to forget what they're called and it's going to be all over the place. All right, so now that we have this all set, let's just take a look and see what it looks like on different screens. And it's not too bad. There we go. Now, I don't know, this preview doesn't look great, does it? All right, now let me show you something really interesting. The text here, you can see the heading is getting smaller and smaller and it's increasing with size. This means that our website is fluid, okay? Our fonts are fluid, and this is the main feature for SiteKrafter. All right, so now that we have that, let's move on and add another regular section. And we're gonna have the first column here. Let's add our text. And in our text here, we're gonna set this to section text or section heading. Okay, let's call this section heading. All right, so now that we have a section heading, we highlight it, set this to heading 4. Okay, great. So what I'm going to do quickly here is to go in and add a background color to our section. Now look at that. I've just gone in and chose my color. Now this is how you are going to use your base colors throughout your whole website. And this makes it really, really easy to work with. Now over here, all you need to do is to go in and we need to add some blurbs. Yep. All right. So we know that our blurbs are already set and we are good to go. So now you need to decide whether you want an image or you want an icon. So if I go with icon, I can just do that. Choose my icon and let's say my first one is that one. Now I can go back to my section settings. And with that selected, I'm just going to duplicate 3 times. And now I have my section heading all sorted. Now my spacing here doesn't look great, so I'm going to come over here to my section settings. Let's go to design. Okay, so we have padding on this one here. Let's just add 0. Oops, am I doing the wrong thing? Okay, let's go back. Okay, so we want the padding off on the bottom. Okay, so that's what I was looking for. Right, so with that now, I'm going to go ahead and save. And then individually now, we can just go in and start changing the icons. So let's say that's the icon for that one. And that's the icon for that one. We're going to save our page. Now let's do an exit and no, in fact, let's do a preview. Because if we preview, that means at least we can see what is going on here. So I'm going to say get rid of all this. All right. So now if I try to shrink this, now notice the text. Look at the text. Let's get rid of this guy. This guy is in the way. All right, notice the text. It's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and everything looks consistent. Look at that. You see that? Even the blurbs. Now you notice that we didn't even need to go in and adjust anything. Everything just grows because it is all clamp. Okay, so as you're designing your website, you can go in and stylize this, the way you want. Now here's a quick tip. If you think, okay, you know what, maybe I don't like this background color and I want to change this, let me show you how you can quickly do that. All right, so what you do now is you go to this particular blurb and make changes to it. So in this case, we want to remove the background, don't we? So we're going to come over here, set this to white, or we can just set it to transparency if you want. So I think white is fine. And then what I'm going to do next is to head over now to my presets. Now remember, we have SK main blurb. I'm just now going to update this, and in a moment it's going to update everything. Look at that, everything's all updated now. So all you have to do is to come to my section settings here, and then this is where maybe I want to add my color. And then on the top one here, maybe I want to keep it clean and white. I'm going to save that. Now let's go to our preview, refresh that. There we go. So now we have our section now different. Look at that. It's the basic layout. And for our button here, do you see that it's got the animation in it? Okay, great. Now, when it comes to the footer, again, you just fix this in one place and pretty much you are good to go. So with the footer, let's head over now to our dashboard. And the first thing I need to do is to give this site a name. So I'm now going to go to Appearance, Customize. Then on the Customize here, we need to go to General, Site Identity. And instead of calling this Testing Divi 5, we're going to call this, should we call it Birmingham Holidays or London Holidays? Okay, now let's give this a bit of a description. Now you'll see in a moment why that description is important. So I just want to copy this text, and that's going to act as our description. All right, so where's my tab? Oh, right here. Okay, now take a look at what happens here on the bottom, because that's what this is going to change. When I hit publish, now it won't update straight away. I noticed that yesterday. So I need to come on the preview here and look at that. London Holidays, and then my text was updated. Okay, the next step now is perhaps maybe you don't like this background color here. This is where now you can close out of here and go to our theme builder. Next, we're going to come over here to our global footer. And maybe you want to change this to, oops, that's not what we want to do. We're going to click on the section first and then change the color. So maybe you want that to be your footer. So we could go with that. Or if you want to start designing a dark one, we can now start going with the dark version. Okay, and then all we need to do is to reverse everything. So for this text here, change that. Oops. We need to go to design, and then we need to find the text. And here's the text color. There we go. And then we also have London Holidays. Click on that. And I don't know why I keep clicking the wrong one. All right, there we go. Oops. Oh, that didn't work too. Oh, that's because that's a heading. That's why. All right, so it's set to heading 1. So I know what the issue is here. That is because it is not set over here. Let's go to advanced. That's strange. Okay, I guess it's because this is in the footer, so our styles are not working on the footer. But anyway, you get the idea. This is where you would update all your colors. Now, if we come back and refresh, do you see now that the size is correct here? And my footer now has changed color. So all I need to do now is to go in and update all our blurbs here and our text. Make sure I remove this background color. Now I'm pretty sure now with the little work that we've done on this site, you can have an idea of what to do. But do you see how quickly I was able to go in and do this? Now, it's not going to be, it's not going to take this much time, because once we get the Divi update, then we don't have to worry about going in and manually adding all our presets, because we can just import them and then bang, they're just there. You are just now ready to start designing the website. That's the idea with the presets that I've designed for you. But this is the longer way, and if you want to get up and running with SiteKrafter 5, I mean, this is the best option. I'm really sorry, guys. This is out of my hands. Let's just wait for Divi 5 to update, and pretty much we'll be good to go. But from the look of this, do you see how consistent everything is? The font sizes, the headings, the colors. I mean, this is why you need a framework to use for designing your websites. Now, here's the other thing I wanted to talk about. If we now head over to SiteKrafter, the offer is running out. It expires in exactly a day. So do get your license. It's only $137 for the lifetime. Now this lifetime gives you access to the Divi community. This is where, in fact, did I show you the community? If you don't know there's a community, let me show you right away. So it's on Divi University, and it is right here. So once you purchase it, I will invite you to the community, and you can see here that already we have quite a lot of members. There we go. We have quite a lot of members here. If we go to our spaces, you can go into the special space here for SiteKrafters. You can see we already have 72 people in the SiteKrafter space. You're going to be invited to that one. It's a private one, as you can see here. The only public one here is just the normal Divi community, but this one here is private, okay? So this is where you'll be invited, and you can discuss. If you have any issues, you can discuss this with like-minded people. Now, I can see already there is a question, so I want to see. Oh, and by the way, you need to vote. But I can see unanimously that people want everything based on Divi 5, so that's fine. Okay, so let's head over now to our spaces. I think the question is here. Nope, it is in the VIP. And by the way, if you purchase SiteKrafter, you have access to the VIP anyways. All right, so you can see here, all these have content. So this is what you also get when you purchase SiteKrafter. You get access to all this, okay? So go ahead, purchase it while the license is, while the offer is still there, because right now it's $137 one time or $48 every year. Now with this $48, you will get access to, this is the community access. That spelling is wrong. Anyway, the WordPress plugin, unlimited websites, you can have 1 year support, and you also get a web design course. Now, once the Divi 5 gets out of alpha, I'll be doing a course on Divi 5, so you'll also get access to that. Anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one. Take care.